everyone, Kat and Franny here, or as she usually goes, Big Girl. So, she's still in my normal spot, but that's okay because she's cute and being sweet at the moment. So, we're gonna get into our Monday fairy tales. But it's coming up on New Year's, so I had to get a little festive. So, we got our sparkle on. It was either this or like a leopard print belly dancer top. But it's a little chilly, and this is a little jiggly. It's only supposed to jiggle this. we'll save that for a different video when you can't see as much, maybe. Because I'm running out of end of year, booktube video ideas. There's always like the top tens and the worsts, but I want to wait till that's actually end of year. Because what if I read a really amazing book that I finish on New Year's Eve? Then all my lists will be wrong. Or if it's absolutely terrible. I said these were the worst books of the year, but no, we gotta do this one. So, we're gonna do our Grimms, and then we don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out by the time this video goes up, huh? Because we got our Christmas videos we all recorded, and that one that, shocker, I actually need to edit, and the follow-up video for that to do, but it's gonna be a really long one. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But again, that's going to need editing. So we're just going to read our fairy tales. My normal co-host, see, this is why I say she's abusive. Because she's punching me. But I know how to stop that. I just hold your hand and then you have to lick it. Try to free it. Our normal one. Can you guess? He's having a nice tucked in nap. So, what are we gonna read, Sleepy Girl? Honestly, it's a perfect one for us. Story number 58 is The Dog and the Sparrow. And if y'all have been here for a while, you know I've got a couple bird feeders outside, and sparrows are one of the things that come to visit us. It's usually feisty hummingbirds, and now that they've learned about the peanuts, the scaredy cat blue jays, and some rude mourning doves that we call pigeons, and all kinds of other little birds that all fall into the sparrow category. Eh. So, let's see. Is this one going to be a good one? Oh, sorry, Franny, you're not quite in it. Because there once was a sheepdog, and I don't think Big Girl is a sheepdog. The vets in the shelter can't agree on what she is, especially because she looked like a rot as a puppy. And, you've seen that face. She's still got the nub, but she doesn't have the eyebrows and the face anymore. Huh. So the sheepdog, whose master was cruel and let him starve. Clearly, the sheepdog was nicer than Franny. Big Girl just punches everybody and yells at him for like 3 hours till we give in, don't you? When he could no longer stand it, he departed sadly. Along the road, he met a sparrow who said, "Brother Dog, why are you so sad?" "I'm hungry and I have nothing to eat," the dog answered. "Dear brother," responded the sparrow, "come with me to the city, and I'll see that you get plenty to eat." "Yuh-huh, you'll get plenty, Big Girl." So they went to the city together, and when they came to a butcher shop, the sparrow said to the dog, "Stay here, I'm going to pick off a piece of meat and it will drop down for you." The bird flew to a counter, looked around to make sure that nobody had noticed him. Then he pecked, pulled, and tugged until a piece of meat lying near the edge of the counter slipped down to the ground. The dog grabbed it at once, ran into a corner, and devoured it. "Now come with me to another shop," said the sparrow. "I'll get you one more piece so you'll be full." When the dog had eaten the second piece, the sparrow asked, "Brother Dog, have you had enough?" "Yes, I've had enough meat, but I still haven't had any bread." "And bread is delicious, isn't it, Big Girl? You don't get pudgy by not eating any bread." "You'll get that too," said the sparrow. "Just come along with me." So he led him to a baker's shop and pecked at some rolls until they tumbled down. And when the dog desired even more, the sparrow led him to another shop and fetched more bread for him. After that had been consumed, the sparrow said, "Brother Dog, have you had enough now?" "Yes," he answered. "Let's take a walk outside the city." Then the two of them went strolling down the highway, but the weather was so warm that After they had gone a little while, the dog said, I'm tired and very much would like to sleep. All right, just go to sleep, answered the sparrow. In the meantime, I'll sit down on a branch. The dog lay down on the road and fell soundly asleep. Well, that's a terrifying sight. It's like doggies aren't supposed to be on the side of the road unless, the car is pulled over and they're just having a little watering break on a long road trip somewhere. Huh. So you've only had one long road trip, haven't you, big girl? So you're not nice to people. You take after your brother. She is the enforcer. Whatever little man says goes, and little man says, if you weren't evil, you'd be living in this house. So you're a puppy kicking demon. You got to go. So yeah, she's the 80-pound enforcer. they're no. Huh. So you wouldn't be on road trips. You would just look like a terrifying sight. While he lay there and slept, a wagoner came along with his wagon, loaded with 2 barrels of wine and drawn by 3 horses. Ooh, I want to pet the horsies. I got to do that last weekend. I'll show you all the video eventually. Depending on when this goes up, you might have already seen it. I'm getting a little ahead with all my days off, and now I'm kind of confused on what week I'm recording for. We'll figure it out one day. Maybe, if we're lucky. The sparrow realized that the wagon was heading straight down the lane in which the dog was lying, and that it was not going to swerve. Wagoner, don't do that, or I'll make you a poor man, the sparrow cried out. You won't make me poor, the wagoner bellowed, as he whipped the horses and drove the wagon over the dog, killing him with the... Oh, he deserves more than to be poor. Listen to the magic bird. It can speak in a way humans can understand. And he's still gonna... He got to go. He's channeling Stephen King, and that is not okay. You've run over my brother dog and killed him. That will cost you your wagon and horses, exclaimed the sparrow. Don't make me laugh. My horses and wagon. You can't do anything to harm me. The bird is magic. You're conversing with him. Stupid human. He drove on, but the sparrow crawled under the canvas and pecked at one of the bungholes of a barrel until a bung came out. Then all the wine ran out without the wagoner noticing. Only after he turned around at one point did he realize that the wagon was dripping. So he examined the barrels and found that one was empty. Oh, poor me, the wagoner cried out. Not poor enough yet, said the sparrow, and he flew down onto the head of one of the horses and pecked its eyes out. Well, I mean, the horse was slightly guilty, but it was because of the stupid human, so I feel bad for the horsey. When the wagoner saw that, he pulled out his axe and tried to hit the sparrow with it. But the bird flew into the air, and the wagoner instead struck the horse on the head, and it fell down dead. What the heck kind of story is this? I mean, now it's not suffering from a missing eye, but geez, that is a lot of animal abuse. Oh, poor me, the wagoner cried out. Not poor enough yet, said the sparrow. The sparrow's the only one I like in this story. And when the wagoner drove away with 2 horses, the sparrow crawled under the canvas again and picked out the bung of the second barrel so that all the wine flowed out. And no loss, I don't like wine anyway. Cue all the hate comments. Especially if anybody in Napa sees this. When the wagoner became aware, he cried out once more, Oh, poor me! But the sparrow answered, Not poor enough yet. He flew down and landed on the head of the second horse, and pecked its eye out. The wagoner ran over, took out his axe, but the sparrow flew up into the air, and thus caused the wagoner to strike his second horse dead. This idiot, I could say some things, but we're not going to bring politics into this. I'll let y'all infer where that's going. Oh, poor me! Not poor enough yet, said the sparrow, who landed on the head of the third horse and pecked its eyes out. Okay, at this point, the horse should have just gone, Nope, I see this bird. I'm hauling before the bird attacks me and the stupid idiot kills me. and just watch the cart go wee until it falls over and lands and kills this idiot wagoner. But nope, it didn't learn. The wagoner swung his axe at the sparrow in rage without bothering to look around. However, he missed a bird and struck the third horse dead. Jeez. Is anything going to be living at the end? Oh, poor me! Not poor enough yet, answered the sparrow. Now I'm going to make you poor at your own home. And he flew off. The wagoner had to leave the wagon standing there and walked home highly annoyed and furious. It's his own dang fault. Oh, he said to his wife, you can't imagine the bad luck I've had. The wine ran out and all 3 horses are dead. They aren't dead. You freaking killed them, you dummy. Oh, husband, and she answered, oh, a wicked bird has flown into our house and brought all the birds in the whole world together, and they've descended on our wheat in the loft and are eating it up. So a couple humans starved, no loss. The wagoner climbed up the loft, and he saw thousands of birds on the floor eating the wheat, and the sparrow was sitting in the middle. Oh, poor me! The wagoner cried out. Not poor enough yet, answered the sparrow. Wagoner, it's going to cost you your life. And the sparrow flew off. With all his property gone, the wagoner now went downstairs and sat by the stove, feeling angry and bitter. Should have watched where he was going. He was warned about the doggy. Gets what he deserves. Then the sparrow landed outside his window and called out, Wagoner, it's going to cost you your life. The wagoner grabbed his axe and threw it at the sparrow. But it missed the bird and merely broke the window pane in 2. The sparrow hopped inside the house, sat down on the stove, and called out, Wagoner, it's going to cost you your life. Now the wagoner was furious and blind with rage. He chopped the stove in 2 and continued to chop all the furniture, the mirror, the benches, the table, and finally the walls of the house. Yeah, 'cause that's a genius move that's going to keep the bird out. All in an effort to hit the sparrow, who flew from spot to spot. At last the wagoner caught the bird with his hand. Do you want me to kill it? His wife asked. No, he yelled. That would be too merciful. I want it to die a more cruel death. I'm going to swallow it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work well for him. Then he took the bird and swallowed him whole. However, the sparrow began to flutter inside his body and fluttered back up again into the man's mouth. Once there, he stuck his head out and cried, Wagoner, it's going to cost you your life. The wagoner handed the axe to his wife and said, Wife, kill the bird in my mouth. The wife swung the axe, but she missed and hit the wagoner right in the head, and he fell down dead. But the sparrow flew up and away. Should have let that torture go on a little bit longer to really drive him nuts for what he's done, but at least the rest of the animals of the world will be safe since, one less piece of trash. So that was a very messed up story. I'm glad he's dead, but all the animals? Jeez, what is this, like a Stephen King, like, pet cemetery, some kind of junk? So, that was a truly grim tale. Hopefully you at least enjoyed the puppy, who is now flopped out on the floor because she got too toasty licking her paw. And I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.